KO here, and I'm just waiting for the link so that I can get this live on other platforms. I am tired right now, so tired, fatigued. Um, but we're going to jump into it. I was out running errands when I'll talk about it once we get live on all of the platforms, and then I want to show you all of videos. All right, so the link is up. Let me get the thumbnail updated, and then just say hello when you come in, and then we will go from there. I'm fatigued, I tell you, I'm fatigued. Man, but basically the passport bros are messing up Black male image across the world. And I wanted to talk to you about a real life situation as well as play a video for you all. All right. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So I got the link. Let me get the link in, and then we are going to go live on all platforms, and then we're going to talk about this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you're in. All right. And then let me get the link out on Telegram so that the people who get the free notifications on Telegrams will get those too. All right. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. Whew. All right. We're live on Twitch, we're live on Twitter, we're live on Facebook, we're live on LinkedIn, and of course, we are live on YouTube. All right, so come on in. Yeah, you know what? Listen, I just got word in a real life situation. I know a Black guy who just got into the Dominican Republic a few days ago. And, he's not an online type of person, right? And he's not an online type of person. And he was telling me that, he went out last night, and the Dominican girls, they didn't want to dance with him and stuff like that. And it made me think about a lot of different things, because I just finished coming in from running errands. And so I was contacted, and I was like, and, he showed me the outfit he had on and all of that. And he was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was thinking to myself, wow, has their negative reputation preceded them, so that now people who look like them and present as them are now not only in international news, with their mugshots and the images of their degeneracy in the United States, having an impact, right? But are the images of the passport bros and how they are going overseas and using women and leaving babies and participating in violent, degenerate behavior, is that now having an impact on the ground with the ways, and you know what, my heart goes out to men, because I don't know what it's like, right? But just even contacting somebody and then being like, yeah, nobody wanted to dance with me. And I'm just like, I don't know what it's like to go out and receive, what is that? I'm sorry, I'm so tired, because we were up late last night, and then I woke up early, was working out, and then had to run errands and all this other stuff. So I am fatigued. So forgive my brain freezes. I don't know what it's like to go out and be not rejected, because I've been rejected before, because everybody's in a different state of whatever relationship they're in or whatnot. I remember when I was in my 20s, I went to go dance with this guy at a party, and he kind of like pushed me away. And his girl, because his girl was at the party, right? I didn't know all of that, but I was rejected, right? I've been rejected before, but I don't know what it's like to go out and want to interact with the opposite sex and want to. There was a certain energy of the whole, I don't know, but just wanting to be accepted, wanting to be liked, wanting to be found attractive, wanting to be interacted with, right? There's a that I won't understand, because look, if I go out and I want to dance, I'm just going to jump to the middle of the dance floor and just start dancing with myself, or in a crowd of ladies, or it doesn't even matter. Most of the times I'm moving and grooving with myself, and I'm just having a good time, and I'm not worried about anybody else, and I'm not worried about wanting to get that, being fed. It's like, it's kind of like a drug, but wanting to be able to get that drug of coming home and bringing somebody home and getting their acceptance and having them give themselves to me and all of that. I'll never understand that. I'll never understand that. So I don't know. It made me wonder, what is the image that is preceding them in these other countries, right? And then on top of that, why are they leaving the United States with all of their problems, and then taking those, instead of fixing their issues, but taking those problems overseas, and instead of building a new reputation of, Black men being seen as builders and people who add to the community and people who come over and make the place better, but now they're going overseas and they're bringing this image, this downtrodden image, and also creating issues in other countries. So let's jump into this video real quick, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. I'm going to read the cash apps in a moment, so you can send those through. I'll put the link here inside of the comments of all the platforms. www.cash.app/$ Tonya TKO. That is Tonya TONYA, just like the name on the screen right here. And so I'm gonna, after we watch this video, I'm gonna read some of the cash apps, and then we'll go from there. But oh man, this is deep. This is real deep.
You know, I need to thank you ashy bastards, you passport bros, for something. Y'all have managed to fuck up international travel for everybody who ain't you. You see, before the passport bro movement even started, I was traveling for the United States military. I was able to go to any country I wanted to, see the sights, take pictures, enjoy the fucking festivities. And when I was single, if I did meet somebody and hit it off, we hit it off. Now, I couldn't even possibly do that. Couldn't even possibly do that. Thanks to you, I can't get a woman in America, so let me take my shortcomings overseas ass motherfuckers. Ashy bastards, no lotion having motherfuckers. I said all along, my favorite place on earth to go to when I was traveling with the military was South Korea. I love South Korea. I would go back in a heartbeat. But now I got to go back and wonder whether or not I'm looked at as one of you fucking lame bastards. Why? Because you have no game in America. So you decided to take the sex tourism route. That's exactly what you're doing. You're looking for a submissive wife, my black ass. You know the women here have caught up to your bullshit ass, lame ass game, and you decide to try that fucking shit on tour with a group of women who don't know who the fuck you are. Well, unfortunately, you fucked it up for every goddamn body else. I can't go to Rio de Janeiro just to hang out for Carnival. Well, he's a passport bro. Fuck, I'm not. Can't go to Vietnam or Cambodia. Can't go to the Philippines. And I got a friend that lives in the fucking Philippines, and her whole family have invited me there several times. because you motherfuckers are looking for a submissive ass wife. Now everybody that comes over there to these countries are looked at like we're all looking for the exact same fucking thing. I have a wife. I don't need a submissive one. But that's because you motherfuckers ain't got no goddamn game in America, and you know it. Every woman has already caught up to your bullshit. Every woman, regardless of fucking race, they have caught up to your bullshit. So what do? I'm gonna take my shortcomings on tour, like you a fucking opening act for a band. So thank you, lotionless motherfuckers, for that. Thank you for fucking up international travel for the rest of us who simply want to go to places, see the sights, see things we've never seen before, eat foods we've never eaten before, and meet people we've never met before. Thank you very much for fucking it up for the rest of us, you lame, no good, two-faced sons of bitches. You know, I need to thank.
Oh my gracious. Oh, he went off. Oh my, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. Oh my gracious. Oh my gracious. Oh my gracious. Oh my goodness. So he is upset, but I'm confused. I am a little confused, I must admit. Why is it that you can't do any of those other things, even with the passport bro reputation? If you're just talking about seeing the sights, who's stopping you from seeing the sights? Is someone slapping the camera out your hand like, oh, passport bro? And what are they knocking the ice cream cone from off your table? How is that stopping you? But nonetheless, see, cause see, he's telling on himself. He know what he's doing over there, but he doesn't want to let his wife know what he's doing. Cause you see, he's like, even if I wanted to, he can't, blah, 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 right? So he want to go when he travel, and I can imagine that this man is with a non-black woman. I can't imagine him being with a black woman, honestly. That's who you all can take a survey in the comments. If you think he with a black woman, put up the number 1. If you have an inclination he not with he's with a non-black woman, put up the number 2. I'm telling you, because there's something. I don't know. I don't know. But nonetheless, I mean, it's something. I don't know what it is, but there's something. So he's telling on himself because he wants to go over and be in the embrace of some women overseas. And so now the passport bro reputation has preceded him there. Okay, so you all seeing and feeling what I'm seeing and feeling. Okay. Because I'm not feeling that there is some person in that house cooking collard greens. I'm not seeing that at all. At all. He got on black nail polish. I didn't see all of that. But nonetheless, right? Nonetheless, and lesser than none, he want to go over there and play around a little bit when he goes overseas. And the game is being messed up by these men who are now, his image and view are being associated with those guys that he's calling ashy and all this other stuff. But my question is, why didn't he want to correct that behavior? Why didn't he want to say anything to these guys when they were here? When they are unaliving each other? Look, I looked at the data because I was marveling at how a black woman is unalived every 6 hours. According to FBI data, every 6 hours in this country, a black woman is unalived, right? And so oh my goodness. I'm refreshing. No one has sent an apple through. There's 300 people on YouTube, 100 on Facebook, and 1 on Twitch. Hey, Twitchy, right? If everybody sent $1, that would more than support the broadcast. Send something through. I'm going to read your comment on air in just a moment. Um, when they were, so I looked at the data, and so I was looking at how a Black woman is unalived every 6 hours, right? By a mainly by a man, and in this country, but mainly by a man, right? And so when I looked up the data for men for 2020, it was almost 1 an hour that a Black man was murdered by another man or unalive, sorry, these platforms, right? And when all of this was going on in this country, they didn't want to speak out to correct one another. They just, I guess we just had to become accustomed and used to the behaviors and the trauma in our communities, right? However, now that they're going over messing up access to foreign pum pum, right? Now that they're messing up access to that, messing up access to, the wide eyed, bushy tailed, starry eyed, heart eyed, not knowing who it and what it is that you all are, right? Now that you're messing that up, now all of a sudden, so now men are coming out and they're like, oh, hold up, hold up, hold up. And now they're calling them names, Ashley Bastard, Two-Faced Mother Effer, and all this other stuff, right? So I just heard an apple come through. So thank you, D. I appreciate that. Happy Friday to you too, sweetie pie. So Ketter is saying, mind your business. Look, you know what? Listen. You're right. However, this morning it was made my business by a man on the ground who contacted me, and it just made me think about the whole situation. Because, when men, are having whatever issues they're having, who do they turn to? They turn to women. When they really want to find a solution, they're not turning to other men. They turn into women to be able to offer some insight, etc. Right? So men make it our business. As a matter of fact, if they would have, this guy from we showed the video the other day, how the man from the Phil show was like, go over and be loud about leaving, and I don't get gay vibe from him. I really just get non-Black woman lover vibe from him. Like he started dating out his race when he was 12 years old, 14 type vibes, because those were the girls who were neck and neck, if you know what I'm saying. Listen, nonetheless, so I don't know. I want to see what your thoughts are, because it's sad. This whole situation is sad. It's sad that rather than going and building, that they are participating in behaviors that's denigrating their image across the world and in different countries. I don't know what to say about that. I'm going to check the apples. Okay, so a few have come in. I'm going to give you all a few more moments to get them in. And I'm going to just read some comments. Let me know. This is unbelievable. Men have been against each other for a long time. As I've been alive, at least, your perception is showing. Really? Well, tell me more. Tell me more, because I don't see men publicly admonishing their peer groups. I don't see that online. I don't. No, not Dr. Phil. No, this guy, he has some Phil show. Big rotund, discolored skin, Black dude. I showed the video. Just look at the Passport Bro series. It's in there. He was like, I told you all to go overseas and leave and do it loud. Say it loud that you're leaving, and what's that gonna do? Get these women in check. He's just foolishness. I showed the video. Remember, Kaepernick wanted Black women to be the face of justice for police. Exactly. And it's like, these men really need to step up. Men really need to step up. They'll do anything except be better men. Kind of saying Passport Bros are barbaric. Your content is super refreshing. Thank you. They're so indoctrinated, only a man can correct them, and it has to be a collective of black men doing it. You know, I don't even know if men can even correct them, because how will they're not gonna listen. They're just gonna call the man a simp. I don't know how they're gonna be corrected. I don't know how they're gonna be corrected. I have seen TikToks before. He is heavy into anime and alt goth culture. Oh, well, look, that says it there. That says it there. I seem to remember women running over to the Caribbean island looking for Dexter, getting married for money. Where was the outrage? Where do you see the outrage here? Show me the videos. Show me the videos of the women talking about, show me. I want you to show me the videos of the women talking about, with a microphone in somebody's face, talking about, yo, Dexter, you giving up dick tonight? How much it take to get your dick, Dexter? Yo, oh yeah, ladies, get your passport. There's dick over here. There's dick. Oh! I mean, show me the videos. Show me the videos of the women doing that. Show me the videos of the women denigrating men on foreign land. Please show me. Look, who has an issue with somebody traveling to be able to receive what? Love, affection, intimacy? As long as the participants are willing. Men are going overseas, shooting out their baby batter and leaving little fluffy-headed kids all over the doggone world with a genotype and phenotype that these women are ill-equipped to be able to deal with in a racist society. Look how after Vietnam, I'm sorry, you all got me freaking screaming now. After Vietnam, look how many Blasian, because there were white men doing this too. But there is a currency in the European genes in our white supremacist societies, right? In the hierarchy, there's currency in having a half-white child. There is negative currency in having a half-black child in a society that is ill-equipped to be able to deal with a biracial child. These mothers, they can't even comb these children's hair. The children are looked down upon by society. Somebody is saying, I'm full of crap. Imagine you got some balls to mind other people's business. Nigga, let me fucking tell you something. Pure pussy this! You see this? That's flat! Pure pussy here! Ain't no balls over here! What's wrong with you? This pussy! In case you don't know! My God! Can you not tell the difference between a womb holder and yourself? Do not associate me with male anatomy. There's no balls over here. I'm flat in the front. What's wrong with you? Like, some of you are out of your mind. Gosh. Nonetheless, I can't understand. It's just like I can't understand this. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. And then you want to talk about some balls, Lewis? Why don't you do this? I will turn on my phone lines. Let's see whether or not you got the balls, the stones, the cojones to be able to call in and talk to me. It's like, I don't understand. What's wrong with these people? God. This is unbelievable. Let me open up the phone lines, because you see, they like to talk a good game. They like to talk a good game. They like to talk a good game, but when all is said and done, you don't have anything to back it up. You are cardboard. What do they call it? A paper tiger. You a paper tiger. You rip through like tissue paper, son. You're not successful here. This is why you're running abroad and you're messing up the image of yourself abroad. I bet you a person like you can't even get abroad. I bet you, well, listen. Listen, no pun intended. You can't get abroad. You can't fly abroad. It's just unbelievable. Listen, let me open up. Listen, I'm about to open up the phone lines, and I bet you the dissenters won't call. They won't, because at the end of the day, they're afraid. Why can't you just admit that you're afraid of me? Why can't you just admit that? Why can't you just admit that I make you uncomfortable because I have you confront real truths about yourself? Gosh, it's unbelievable. Here, phone lines are open. You can go ahead and call in. I'm waiting. Phone lines are open. Waiting. 323-488-3149. It's so anybody who has something that they feel that they need to relay to me about the subject matter, by all means, the telephone lines are open. I don't hear nothing ringing. 323-488-3149. Let me go ahead and advertise my text notification squad. Listen, if you'd like to get a text whenever I go live and make sure that you're here for the live shows, go to www.tonyatko.com/TEXT. There we go. Oh, here's a phone call coming in right here. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Greetings, Tonya. My name is James, and I'm from Dallas.
Oh, hi. I thought Lewis was going to call in, but I guess Lewis didn't have a pair large enough. So, Leonard, you're on the air live, so talk to me. What is your commentary?
About the subject matter, I think one of the biggest issues as a man is we don't hold each other accountable, and we're afraid to hold each other accountable. I got into a discussion with my barber because he kept saying, "Oh, I want a good woman," and I'm gay, by the way, just to put that out there. I don't know if it makes any difference, but he was like, "Oh, I want a good woman. I want a good woman. I want a good woman." A few minutes later, his friend calls. He was like, "Say, man, I met this nurse. She a bad bee. She a bad bee. She a bad bee." Each time he referenced her, she was not a woman, a girl, a chick. She was a B word, right? And so he got off the phone, and I said, "Say, like, you say you want a good woman, but like, it's about vocabulary and how things register." I was like, "It didn't affect you that each time he called her, he referenced her, she was a B." And he goes, he says, "Well, what are you saying?" I said, "Me personally, if you say you want a good woman, as above, so below, as within, so without, and all those things. Like I was like it goes with your company, like the company that you keep." And I was like, "What type of woman are you going to attract calling women B words?" And he actually breeds dogs. So I was like, and what is a bitch? I'm sorry. I was like, "What is a B?" And it's something that you breed. But he's like, "I can't tell no man to not cuss." And I was like, "You're not telling him not to cuss. You're asking him not to just curse in your presence or whatever." He's like, he kept arguing the fact, but I was like, to be a sound human being and to attract, because he said he outgrew the women in his community. And I was like, well, you as a man are going to have to, he didn't want to upgrade. You as a man are going to have to like upgrade yourself. And he did not want to do that. I'm like, bro, you're going to have to or whatever. And he was afraid to hold that standard. I don't know if it was a fear of physically fighting. I don't know if it was a fear of, I don't know if it's like a fear of losing out on friendship, because I guess in his crowd, he's kind of popular. I don't know what it was, but it's a fear of accountability.
Well, you know what? And I appreciate you even bringing this up, because he claims that he outgrew the women in his neighborhood. But like you said, as above, so below, as within. What you said the second part? As within, as without?
As within, so without.
Okay, as within, so without. Look at his circle of friends. He hasn't really upgraded. He just wants an Instagram baddie or somebody that he feels that he's worthy of. But when you look at his inner circle, when you look at how he conducts himself, and even how he was defending, not shifting who it is that he interacts with. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
has his circle really changed? Has he changed?
Mm-mm.
So he is attracting exactly who it is that he is, but he doesn't want to look in the mirror to see who it is that he is.
Mm-hmm. And like
Well,
I promise, like watching your video has made me so aware. Like some things, like the time you were walking in the park and you were saying that somebody's following you. Like I use that as a reference. I'm a massage therapist, so I'm always talking to women, and
mm,
it's like, dang, as men, it's I do kind of apologize on behalf of men, but because on so many levels, like we don't have to worry about that. Like I really don't have to worry about walking in my apartment at night. And so it's like on some levels, like we on some shit, like we are. But like on some levels, it's like there truly is a lack of what is empathy, or I don't know what empathy or sympathy. There truly is a lack of that because like I'm a mama's boy, and it took me years to even see that.
mm,
Like it really did, and
wow.
like actually like my mama, grew up watching my mama being abused. She by my daddy. She left him. He was physically abusive, like
Oh,
drag into the
wow.
woods, beat you with a crowbar type shit. And so she left him, and the church told her she left him, she was going to hell. And it's like, oh, wow. But she left him, gets remarried, and the man was physically abusive. Stay with him this man raised me. He was crazy as hell, but honestly, I'm happy to have that man in my life and then not have anyone at all. I know it might sound crazy, but he protected us. He was the bully at home, yes, but he protected us from a lot of things, and a lot of things like molestation I did not have to go through that other children did because he was very protective. But so she breaks up with this, they divorce, and she gets with a new guy, and I was kind of spoiled as a man. Like again, me holding others accountable. Like I wasn't necessarily raised with all those qualities. I'm upgrading myself, I would say, but I wasn't raised with those qualities. I was spoiled. So she gets a new boyfriend, and we all living together, and they're arguing, and he's like, you be," and I remember I was folding clothes and hanging them, and I was like, "Dang, they've been arguing a long time." Or whatever. So I remember I was like, dang, this dude calling my mama a B. And I remember I was like 23 at the time. And I was like, dang, this dude calling my mama a B. And it's like, well, what are you going to do? And I remember I had a discussion because I don't really want to fight because I wasn't raised fighting. So like, I'll fight, but it's like, I don't know what the hell going to happen once the fight starts. I'll, stand up for myself. But I remember I went and knocked on the door, and I was like, "Is everything all right in there?" And I remember the entire like the energy in the room dropped, and he was like, "Oh no, everything is fine, everything is fine." And shortly after that, he put me out. But I said all that to say is, even like as a mama's boy, it's like a lot of times as men, like quote unquote, the good men who are just unaware. Like I don't know what it would really take. Honestly, I don't know, but um sometimes as men we really don't see the vulnerability of women because of, I don't want to necessarily blame it on society, but being in the society that we're raised in, sometimes we truly don't see the vulnerability of women.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. You shared a lot. I don't even know what to say. Just wow. Well, you remember that video where I was walking in the park and there was a man who followed me from one
Mm-hmm.
end of the park until I had to leave the doggone park. No matter which way,
Mm-hmm.
no matter which path I turned, he was right there behind me. And
Yes.
it was very unnerving that early in the morning, but you're right. And I'm sure and things have gotten a lot worse since then because that was during the pandemic, or I guess right after I had come back from Africa. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was unbelievable. I remember that day, and I remember the lack of safety. And I remember even just last year when I was walking in the park, there was some man on a bicycle who I had to scream some curse words at because he thought that it was appropriate to follow me in the park and try to get a date or something. But you're right, it's a lot of foolishness going on out there. But your mother never outgrew the attracting abusive mates.
Actually, right now I am so proud of my mama. She has actually. Honestly,
Oh.
I've kind of forced your videos down her throat. I got yourself a help book for her. Like I even tried to. I'm the guy who tried to subscribe to the thingy and the Instagram. I sent you the screenshot. Like I really want to support you because I really love your content. Like I really love your content. And I'm like, damn, watching her, it's like she is not crazy, and I really do feel sorry for women. And it's like I'm gonna support her, but she has outgrown. Like she's right now, she's not dating because and she's actually in therapy. She's not dating
Mm.
because she said she needed time for herself. She does realize does realize a lot of things that's internal within her. And actually, me and her had a conversation. I don't mean to overstay my welcome, but me and her had a conversation years ago, and her uncle, I told her, like, Mama, you need to really look at how you view, like, her uncle was like her hero growing up, and he died. He was in and that, like, he was her hero. Tonya, he couldn't keep a job. Like, my granny, sadly to say, my granny, she had to prostitute because she was put out because my grandmother abandoned her. So she was young on Section 8, got pregnant prostituting, which is why like my mother is a product of that. And then when she get pregnant, all the men in the family try to fight the dude who was my grandfather, talking about he knew better or whatever. It's like, but where were y'all when she was on the street? But so my uncle couldn't keep a job, he couldn't keep a relationship. Like he didn't have his own house. He like on so many levels he had no standards again. People not holding men truly accountable. I don't know what that would have to be. Stop fucking. But and she held him in high regard because he could have a really good conversation. And I told her, like, Mama, like you really need to like view, like he may have been that in your eyes, but look at him as a human being. And like he couldn't maintain anything, and she was attracting, like, and he was a drunk. And and all the men, most of the men she would attract were drunks. And the man that she was married to for the longest, he was an ex-alcoholic. And he never truly recovered because he did some alcoholism and became a minister. He never got therapy. So it's just a lot of, yeah.
Wow. You know what? This is all so deep. But you know what? I'm seeing a little disconnect though. In the same way that your mother was saying that your uncle, she admired him, even though he was a
hmm
drunk and he couldn't keep a job, right? I also heard
hmm
you say that your stepdad was physically abusive, but that you were so glad to
No,
have him in your life.
my
Who?
my daddy was physically abusive. My stepdaddy was verbally abusive.
Okay, 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 okay. So, but I remember you saying that you were happy that you had him in your life, even though he was abusive. And
Yes.
so
Okay.
that's
I
very
know that
similar to
may
your
sound like,
mother, right?
hmm.
Very similar to your mother and how she, you know, has this love for your uncle, even though he's an alcoholic who can't keep a job. You have love for this man who abused your mother, even though, he was abusive. There were things that he did that you admired.
Yes. With that,
You don't have to justify it. I'm just saying.
yes, but it wasn't. It was on so many levels. It was just. I don't mean to justify what I'm happy that I really did have a. He wasn't the best male figure, but my family is very overbearing. And talking to my mama years later and realizing like what her state of mind was at that time period, she wanted protection from my family. Like one of the reasons she's in therapy now is because she can't set boundaries with my granny. Like she has to completely like cold turkey not talk to her mother. And I was like, well, because she's angry because my granny, she can't accept the fact that it's like she's not gonna like only give her little pieces of you. You can't go over there and spend hours over there at a time. Stop by for 30 minutes and leave it at that. But he was a level of protection from my family because my family, I don't want to say they were
Right.
takers, but they were very
But listen,
overbearing.
Leonard, I want you to just receive this, right?
It's
Your
James,
mo-
I'm sorry.
your I'm sorry. I thought you said your name was Leonard James.
No, James. I was
Oh my.
probably taking a deep breath when that happened.
Oh, okay, okay. So, I just want you to receive this. The
Hmm.
same way that your mother was able to see the good qualities of your uncle, even though they were bad qualities, right?
Yes.
Is the
Yes.
same way you were able to see the good qualities of your father slash stepfather, even though they
Hmm.
were bad parts. So just receive that, okay? Because the way that you're telling your mother, well, you have to look at him as a whole, just know that there are inconsistencies that also exist in your standards. So that's all I'm saying. Just look within on that. I'm glad that your mother is getting therapy. How old is your mom?
My mama, she is 54.
Oh, wow. So your mother's the same age as some of these passport bros. So that means it's never too late. You can get therapy, you can change your life, you can create a shift. So, you know what? Thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story. Your story is similar to a lot of the generational trauma that exists in many African American families because
Hmm.
we came out of slavery in this country with no therapy, no reconstruction. And so yeah, so it just perpetuated down the generations. You said your grandmother had to prostitute herself, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and so it's like this is real life. There are people's grandmothers, mothers, sisters. I mean, there are people out there who are working the streets and doing what it is that they know how or that they learn how because of the circumstances. So listen, thank you so much for sharing your heart. I'm going to get on the website today and get that fixed and I'll send you back a message, okay? Cuz I don't even know what that was all about. I don't know what stopped it. So let me go take a look at that and see what's up. All right? So thank you so much for
Okay.
calling in. Big loves and hugs to you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, I'm going to check the apples. Let me just grab this right here. All right. All right, wonderful. So here we go. We have D who sends in $5 and says happy Friday. Claire sends $2 and says good morning. L'Oreal says turn in on the clock. Tuned in on the clock. Oh my goodness, that's so loud. I gotta fix back up my soundboard. Sequoia sends 333, says for all that you do. Fawn sends 111 for channel support. Karma sends $2 and says for Apple. Goddess Fire sends $1.19 from England. Hey, sending that pound through that pound sterling. Black men don't love themselves. That's why no one else does. Oh, wow. Self-love does begin from within. So Hannah says PP bros equal revenge of the nerds. Oh my lord. Why? Kanisha sends $2 and says self-love is the best love. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I bought an avocado today and I'm really looking forward to cutting it open. I was at a grocery store that had avocado. Oh, you know what? I got to take it out of the fridge because it's just at the point that it's going to become ripe. So, typically you get like this really hard avocado from the store, but I bought an avocado. They had like in New York, they have these boxes that they'll sell, plátanos in that are ripe, very, very green, and very, 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 very ripe, right? And now they're coming out with these boxes that they're selling ripe avocado. So I'm excited about that today. I don't know why, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about not having to wait to have my avocado. Kelly sends $5 and says just showing some love. How about that Bronx meetup? Well, I'm no longer in the Bronx, so we'd have to do a meetup. I'm from the Bronx, but I'm not in the Bronx, so we would have to do a meetup in Manhattan or somewhere. So absolutely, absolutely. We need to do a meetup. I'm going to be in Atlanta in April, so we need to do a meetup in Atlanta as well. James sends $2 and says men are afraid to correct each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. Karen sends $5 for support. Megan sends $20 and says the Blaxit community is on high alert. of Black expat, I believe it is. Or is it, do they call it Black Sick community? Is on high alert of the PP bros. Oh, I didn't realize that. Katrina sends $5 and says, love you for all that you do, Tonya. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. Do you prefer Kat or Trina? You know, it can go either way with a name like that. It can go either way. LaShanta sends 5 and says, first apple and waiting on Lewis to call. Hey, yeah. You know Lewis ain't gonna call because he likes to say that women have balls. That's because his have sucked up into his body. Raquel sends $15 and says, love the show. Thank you. And so far for this broadcast, we have brought in $86. Here, let me show you. See, $86. Yay. Thank you all. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me put a heart here so I know where we stopped. All right, I'm going to open up the phone lines again and probably take one more call. All right, phone lines are open. 323. Uh-oh, battery's dying. 323-488-3149 is scrolling across the screen. So yeah, I'll take another call or two and then we'll go from there. The Black Woman Sphere says a Black woman is unalived by Black men every 4 to 5 hours. I don't think those numbers are correct, and I'll say why. Because most of the men who unalive Black women are Black men. However, every man who unalives, every Black woman who's unalived, most of them are by men and most of them are by Black men. However, we'd have to really, really, really look at the data. Where are you getting the data from that says 4 to 5 hours? I'd love a new source because the source that I'm quoting is the FBI. And we have to remember that when we are looking at data, that we're looking at data that can be broken down into subcategories, because I would be interested, because when I looked at the numbers in I don't remember what year it was, 2019 or something like that. It was every 19 hours a woman was unalived, mainly by a man. And when you looked at how many of those were Black men, it was every 21 hours by a Black man. So I would be interested to see if we really can get down to that number so that we can understand the difference between the two and be able to quote correctly. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Something like that. Hi, I'm Stacy, and I'm calling from Aruba.
Hey, so tell us your name again. There's a little bit of an echo in the background.
I'm Stacy.
Okay, so we have Stacy from Aruba on the line. Okay, so Aruba is in on the conversation. Talk to me. What is your comment today?
Yes. The thing is that the American culture is so, like, people in the Caribbean look up to it. So anything these Black men say online, the younger generation and the men, they keep following it. Like, my little brother recently told me that he's only 14 and he's telling me how girls are gold diggers. I'm like, gold diggers? Where did you get that from? So I asked him, how much money do you have? He says he has no money. I said, so why would a gold digger want you anyways?
Oh, my Lord. This little boy, what is he talking? What gold he got to dig? Oh, God. He got no money. This is too much. But you know what? You're right. It's having a tremendous effect. You know, in the Caribbean, they got Bloods and Crips in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Like, why?
And I don't understand. And I'm a police officer, but I work a lot with the schools and stuff. Yeah. And the children are just like following every gang images they see online and music, and it's like, what are you fighting for? Like, they don't even know the history of this. They just want to feel like they're part of something. It's ridiculous.
You know what? This just really makes me very aware how America is exporting its poison. because
Yes.
that music is poison. It's toxic.
Yep.
It's oh my gosh. So these are the images that are being, and you know what the crazy part about it is, I read, somebody wrote in one of my comments that men are impressionable, but women need to be impressed. And it talks about how men are constantly following the lead of other men and just being followers.
Exactly.
And so now you're telling
Exactly.
me that they're looking at this music and perpetuating the toxicity that they see in these music videos. Oh my God.
Exactly. And all of these talking points, like that guy Andrew, and they're following everything he says, and they want to dress like that, and for them, that's, I guess, we have a lot of broken homes here also, and a lot
Really?
of the young boys, they don't have a real good man figure to
Mm.
look up to, so they find one that they think that everyone looks up to, and they think, okay, this is what a man is supposed to be, so I'm gonna be this. But all they're taking from it is the aggressiveness, the hypersexuality, all the negative aspects, but not to take care of a family, to be respectful, to carry yourself in a manner that people could say, okay, I could trust you, I could look up to you, someone that keeps their word. They're not following those. They just all the negative stereotypes.
Wow. You know what it
And
is? I think because those types of messages typically come from religious leaders. And there's so many other things
also,
that come along with being religious that, so yeah,
yes,
so we definitely need more responsible men to to put out messaging for the youth. This is unbelievable. This
yes.
is 14-year-old boy talking about gold diggers. What like what does he know about some some gold being dug? He's getting an allowance from his mother.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, you know
Exactly.
what? Thank you so much for calling in. This was enlightening. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
All
Thank you.
right.
Bye bye.
Oh, this is just sad. I'm going to take one more phone call and then we're going to get out of here. Somebody's saying, what about the grandfather you showed that said he slapped his wife from Africa? Um, what about it? I don't understand. Well, how does that relate to the conversation we're having? Also, that guy was a comedian using an old person's filter. I found out after I did the video. And he's actually young, he's married, and he did that reenactment from real life experiences. So, or from people who have those experiences in real life. So I definitely yeah, so I want to know. Call in and tell me how you feel that it relates. The phone line is open 323-488-3149. I'd love to hear from you. And Beautiful is saying, hopefully he won't abuse little girls. That's the crazy part. It's like he's already going down the wrong path. He's 14. And it's like we really have to be more cognizant of the message. So I think that it's safe to assume for any woman out there right now, it's safe to assume that your man, your son, your cousins, uncles, brothers, that they have come into contact with manospheric talking points, and that you need to just be aware that they have already been infected by now. I'm going to take one last phone call. And I see that there are people who are having a debate about twerking. And you know what? I think so. So there's a lot that goes into that, right? There's nothing disrespectful about twerking. I think that I think what troubles us is all of the things that we associate with Black women and hypersexuality and buttocks and dancing. But when you look at ethnic cultures across the world, ethnic cultures have a certain set of dances that are hip centered, that once a young girl enters into, that stage of her life, that, that there are dances that are hip centered. And so, in the Caribbean, in Africa, in different parts of the world, like there is nothing bad about the female body and there's nothing bad about the female body moving. I realized when I went over to Hawaii that there are, and even just looking at the Polynesians and the women who have, the hips that are moving in belly dance fashion, as well as so we have Polynesia, and then we also have in the Middle East how there is belly dance in the Middle East, and there's hula from Polynesians, and so we all over the world, we have different forms of these practices and movements for girls who have come of age and are fertile. And there's nothing inherently bad about them. We have so many different, and then you know what, and we have so many different ideas and ideologies being impounded upon us about the female form, about female sexuality, that is really not of our own doing. And we have to really dismantle the parts of the patriarchy, right? I mean, the parts of the patriarchy that have taught us, because we end up with a lot of stagnant flow in our lower chakras, and we end up with all different types of imbalances because we are not connected to different parts of our bodies. So you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're in the air. Wait, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh my God, I forgot to. My name is Lisa. I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
So hi, Lisa from Canada. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Talk to us. What is your comment
Thank you.
today?
Thank you. My comment is I understand that a lot of these these things that are happening with the young men. We also have to blame the mothers too, because they're the ones that teaching the young men. You don't go get with no woman that don't have money. You don't, they say a lot of things to their young men. 'Cause I've gone through this with many of my friends. They're making sure, oh, you're not dealing with a broke girl, or make sure she can do stuff for you. And some of the young women and the mothers out there, they teach their children to act like this. So the men feel inferior now because, first of all, they're not getting a job the way they want to get a job. They're not making the kind of money, and they're thinking that's what women expect. So if they don't have that, they don't have the self-esteem, I feel, to bring that to the table, so they turn the other direction.
What other direction?
You
To be with
understand what
men?
they turn into, like, the passport bros. They're looking for a woman to take care of them instead of
You think the
them
passport
taking
bros
care
are
of a
looking
woman.
for a woman to take care of them?
I do.
So let me so
I think
you
they're looking.
feel so
Okay, go
where
ahead.
which countries are the passport bros talking about going to?
They're going to, like, the Philippines, and they're going to these places where they think the women don't have any sense, or they're just born to cater to the men,
Okay, so
and
when you say take
that's
care
what
of,
they're
you're not
looking.
talking about financially. You're talking about
Yes,
it.
financially, they want somebody
How
to
many
mother
how
them, to
many how
baby them.
many how many Filipino dollars make a US dollar?
I don't actually know.
Yeah, when we looked it up, you can get a personal chef, a housekeeper, pay rent in an affluent area for under $1,500 a month. The US dollar is, from what it is that I've heard, very strong in the Philippines. I don't even know how we can reconcile that we feel that a man is leaving with a US dollar to go over to a country that is more economically depressed and then expect for the women of those countries to take care of him financially. I don't even see how that is even possible. And then I just want to jump back to your first point about the mothers programming their sons to want girls or women who have money, and so that's why they're going over to the Philippines. I really need you to take some time to just read, educate yourself, test your theories, right? Because any idea is just a theory until it's tested. if you say that in your
Mhm.
circle of friends that the vast majority of the women that you know are teaching their sons to find women who have money to take care of them, then that really speaks to your circle. You cannot escape from the fact that this is your circle from which you are drawing your information. That's one. When I say that I feel that you need
I
to hold on. When I say that you need to read, right? When we talk about who has the greater influence over a child, their peer group has a greater influence. According to the data, a child's peer group, from the time that they're 12 years old, their peer group has more of an influence on who it is that they are going to choose to be than their own parents. Like your parents can only do but so much. So whether or not your mother says this, that, and the other, and I call cap on that because I'll say this, right? If men are
Mhm.
supposedly these quote unquote leaders, then it all falls back on the leader. Somewhere along the lines, there was a woman who, in interaction with men, have then turned around. So we're the fathers in that scenario to tell the sons what it is that they need to look for. So we're talking about a father abandoned home or a father neglected home where there's no strong patriarch who is teaching the sons inside the house who it is that he needs to show up as a young man. So that's two. And then three, and then he goes out there into the world, and then his peer group has the greater part of influence on him. So those are my points. What's your follow up on that?
I understand completely what you're saying. I understand that my friends reflect the kind of people that I hang around with too. But I'm saying I don't agree with that, right? Because I've heard mothers say to their daughters also, don't come here and bring a broke man in this house, or don't, you know, don't go with no man who can't take care of you. I find in this day and age that it's not easy to find somebody to take care of you. I find you have to have someone you gotta help take care of each other, right? So
So you're
I don't
saying that the
agree with what they're
same
saying.
you're saying the same mothers who were telling their sons. So this mother's just looking for all her children to go out there and bring people with money home.
And to step up, yes, in life, that's what they would call it, you know.
Well, listen,
Don't be
there's
like me, don't break no broke man, don't be like this. I hear it all the time when I hear my friends talking to their children. So this is why I said what I said. It has nothing to do with that. I don't agree with that. I believe we all have to help each other in some form of way. Everybody has to bring something to the table. It's not just one sided.
so you're saying that you're okay with going 50-50 on the bills with your man.
I'm saying in this day and age, yes, I am now. Before, when I was growing up, I thought it was a different kind of lifestyle. The man is supposed to take care of the woman, yes, physically and mentally and all that jazz. But I find in this day and age, with how the economy is going, everybody has to put in their fair share in order for things to be equal. And no one
Have
has
you been
to
have you been in a
say,
relationship
well,
like that? Have you been in a
I
50-50
have.
bills relationship? How was it for you?
I'm not in a relationship anymore, but it, it,
Well,
it
that's why I
came
said,
down
how
to
was
money.
it for you? How was it for you?
It was fine until I don't know, I
What's
find that
what
it was just,
I'm finding, hold on. I mean, keep it real.
mhm,
You're hesitating and you're overthinking. Just talk. You called
I
in to
am, I
talk,
am.
right? How was the relationship for you?
The relationship was good in the beginning. It didn't last.
What happened?
And it came down to money. Came down to money.
In what way? He wanted you
I
to make
had stopped
more?
working.
Oh.
I had stopped working, and it felt like it was a burden on him. And he didn't want to, he felt like he didn't have to put up, because I said to him, well, I need to get my nails done. Can I get some money or something like that? And, he would always tell me, oh, my money is my money. Don't ask me about where my money comes from. And, you know, it was even the way like we shared things. Like I'm sort of a bulk shopper. Like I would always go and buy up a lot of stuff to make sure that we didn't kind of run out. And he found a problem with that. So he started having problems when I didn't work anymore. Mind you, I was pregnant. I was having a baby at the time. So he found it a problem. So things was
Whose
all good
baby?
until
Whose
the
baby
money,
were you having?
his baby.
Hold on, 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 hold on. I need to get on my soundboard the sound of a car screeching to a halt. Um, hold on, hold on, hold on. You stopped working because you were pregnant with his
Yeah.
baby.
hmm
How far into the pregnancy did you stop working?
I was 2 weeks before I had the baby.
Wait. Oh God, I'm getting a headache. Hold on. So you were 38 weeks.
Yes.
So at 38 weeks, you stopped working. And within those 2 weeks, he had a problem with money and you?
It wasn't just, no, it wasn't the 2 weeks. It was after the baby was born. Um, like if you get paternity leave, right? So I was getting that, but it wasn't a lot, So the bill started to come, and he just didn't want to, like, he was thinking it was a lot. I heard him say once to a friend of mine, "Oh, I just have to say what I want, and I'll get it." And that kind of threw me off about him at one point. And I'm like, why would he say something like that? I can't ask him for anything that way. So the
Hold
relationship, I feel
hold
it
on,
fell
hold
apart
on,
because
hold on.
of money.
I need to understand. I need to understand. I need to understand. He said to another
Okay.
friend of his that all his woman has to do, meaning you, all you have to do is ask
hmm
and he'll give it to you. That's what he said to a friend of his.
No, no. He said that all he has to do is ask or say he likes something, and I would go do it.
Wait, he was talking about you?
Yes,
Was that
in
the
front of me.
truth?
Yes.
Okay, so listen. You called to talk about the passport bros, but you really called to talk about yourself and some of the things that are going on inside of you that are making you uncomfortable. So let's rewind a little bit and let's talk about this 50-50 relationship and the caliber of man that you were with, right? And listen, I hear you and my heart goes out to you because nobody deserves, no woman, nobody deserves to be treated like that. That you're creating a human being inside of your body that is flesh of this man's flesh. And then he looks at you and says, "My money is my money. Don't ask me where my money comes from." And you're having a whole child for him. You're going to have to take a look at yourself and your level of self love and what it is that you find acceptable or unacceptable to be in your life. And part of the reason that there's so many women who are against 50-50, especially during child rearing years, is because of situations like yours, where then you go to have a child, you're creating a human in your body and this person is expecting you to come up with your half of the doggone rent, your half of the money. And if you don't have it, then it's a problem. You attract the type of men who have so you see what happens is in the Telegram group we have the text notification squad, we have a group on Telegram, and in the Telegram group somebody asked the question, how do you know what your triggers are until something comes to trigger you? And that's a really good question, because when you get with a 50-50 man, you don't really know what his mentality is until the situation presents itself. All you know is that you are being egalitarian, but when all is said and done, when the situation arises that you're not working because you're producing a human being in your body, now all of a sudden this 50-50 man is like, yo, where's the money? Just like that video that we did of that woman who had twins in her body and she was 9 months pregnant and still working, and her husband was like, yeah, strong woman. That was the first time that I used the term mule to describe how Black women behave. How were the chores and the household duties divided in the house? Tell me your name one more time from Canada.
Li- Lisa.
All right, Lisa. How were the chores divided in the house?
Uh, 50-50.
Okay.
We
So
did
the
the laundry. We did everything
uh-huh.
together.
You did everything together. What do you mean you did them together?
Like we go do laundry together. He clean the bathrooms. I wash the dishes. Clean the house, do the dusting. Like everything would be done together. Like clean day.
Okay. Okay. So you all had a cleaning day, and then so like during the week, who was cooking, who was washing the dishes?
Well, I was because I was home.
You were Wait, but you were working for most of your pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking after the pregnancy. Like I was doing this stuff at home.
When you were working, who how were the chores divided when you were working?
50-50. When we come home, what needs to be done, we do it. If it needs to be done, we would do
when
it.
you were working, how was the cooking and dishes divided?
We both cook together. We both do the dishes together.
What do you mean do the dishes together? He would wash them and you would dry them and then put them in the cupboard?
She'd wash, or I'd wash, she'd rinse, dry them off, put them in the cupboard, we'd dry them off together. You know, it was always, we did everything together.
So
Even
when
when we
you
did laundry, we go through the, go ahead.
so when you were cooking, he was chopping up the onions,
Yeah,
and so you all got off of work at the same time every day.
no. He started, okay, I worked during the day, he worked at night. But the time that I came home, he was still at home. So he didn't leave until around 8 o'clock at night to go to work.
Okay. So he left at 8 o'clock at night, and so when you came home, he was awake.
Yeah,
When you came home at 5, 6 in the evening, he was awake. And
I got home at around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the
oh,
afternoon.
okay. So you got home around 3, and so he was awake at 3 o'clock, even though he had to be at work at 8. All right,
Hmm.
and you say that you all. I'm gonna take you at your word because I believe that you would call in and be honest, right? So you all
Good.
would do the cook together and wash the dishes together, and then you'd have a clean day where you both would clean and cook together as well. Well, I'm happy because the way it happens in most situations is the woman is doing the bulk of the work. I just
Yes,
I
I know.
I'm interested in knowing if he was at home, why wasn't he cooking while he was there so that when you came home, food was already made?
I couldn't tell you that. I guess he always wanted to know what was going to be made for the day. Or I don't know. I never thought about that. I never asked him why you couldn't
And
do this on your own. Or
you both had equal cooking skills.
I think he cooks better than me, but yeah,
So he cooked better than you, but when it was time to cook, he was chopping onions while you were cooking, even though he was home all day and you were coming in at 3 o'clock. All right. All right. Listen.
well, listen, we're West Indian, right? Like, there's frying fish, there's frying chicken, there's different things that he would do that I didn't want to do, like frying fish or fried chicken or stuff like that. So he did that when it comes to those things. Like if I was making stew chicken or curry chicken or something like that, he would cut up the chicken or cut up the meat or whatever that is, and I would season it. And it was things like that when we said we shared the duties, right?
Listen, I hear
It was
you. I hear you. I hear
don't
you. And
understand.
no, it's not that I don't understand. It's that it's just I know how cooking goes. I know how cooking goes. Nobody is performing equal duties in the kitchen at the same time, and then you got to walk around people, and then you gotta and then what so what there's
It was
potatoes, there's rice, there's salad, there's some people are eating meat, And then it's like, okay, well, who's really doing what in the kitchen? But that's neither here nor there. You say that it was equal. We have to believe you. We have to believe you. But you said he cooked better than you. And yet you will, however you do it. All I'm saying is, right? I'm
Mhm.
happy that at least in your perspective, your perception that the household duties were even. And with these opposite schedules, it makes it seem like you had a roommate that you had intercourse with. He was working at night, you were working in the day, you all were like two passing ships in the night, and then you all cooking together and then cleaning together, and it's more egalitarian, and then you got pregnant and he was like, don't ask where my money come from. And so,
You know what, Tanya? It was, like I said, it was, my son is 14 now. It was a long time ago.
oh,
He left me when my son was 3 months old. We
he
broke up.
left you?
Yeah, when my son turned 3 months.
Hold
And
up. First of all, you didn't tell us that this was 14 years ago. I thought that this was something that was just happening. And then
no,
so,
no, no. I've learned since then. I see it now when I set them a question because I was depressed for years after that.
of
And
course, you
and
were
I've
not
learned since
working and
then.
he left you. Who's going to pay the bills? You got a 3-month old baby. Your body's still bust wide open. Who took care of the bills when he left?
I did. I had to do it. It was a struggle, but I did it. I came
S-
through.
So he left you to pay the bills
You
there
know.
on your own. My God. All right.
Yep.
And so you
Even
still
up to this
believe in
day,
these
I can't get
50,
no child support from him. So
so to this day, you still believe in 50-50.
I do. I guess that's my stupidity or whatever it is, but
Nobody is saying it's
I don't know. I guess it's
stupidity.
some.
I mean, whatever it is, it's your life, and you have to do what you feel is right for you. And society is changing. You know, people have to change with society. And if society is changing to 50-50, and you're all right with that, I mean, listen, you're Caribbean, so you know what a Christophene is, right?
I've heard the word, but I'm not sure about the meaning.
Which Caribbean island you from? You don't know what Christophene is.
Trinidad.
Did they don't have Christophene in Trinidad and Tobago? All right, well.
They probably do. I came up here when I was 6 years old, so
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they call it Christophene. They call it achiote. That's how my vagina turns inward when somebody starts talking about I don't got the filthy, my vagina just turns inward, crunches up just like a Christophene. For those of you who don't know what it is, I can Google it real quick and put it on the screen. Here, let me look it up for you all. Christophene. Let me see. Christophene. Phine, Christophene. Here. Let's put this on the screen here. So this is Christophene right here. This is what my vagina turns into. It just crunches back up within itself. When somebody starts talking about some 50-50 and this, that, and the other, it just goes right up inside of itself. I don't have it in me to be jumping up and
I'm
down
sorry,
on some
Tanya.
man. Yeah?
I'm sorry. I don't know. It's just the way I look at life now from those times. Those times when I believe that if we did it together, we would strive more. We could get more if we go in half and half. You know, there'll be no worry about money. There'll be no worry about anything. But it didn't turn out that way. So I'm not saying my idea is the ideal idea, but I'm just saying that's how it made me feel. I feel when people put their equal parts in, more can come of what you're looking for. Like if we wanted to get a house together, you put in your 50, I put in my 50, we got our house, and or 50 on the groceries, we'll have more groceries than if there's only one partner coming in. That's the way I thought. Still do things, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's if you go to dinner with friends or whatever, and we say, oh, we're all going to go to dinner together. We don't say, okay, I'm just paying for what I eat. We all put together and say, okay, this is the bill. Everybody takes an equal part. That's the way I can't say I grew
Okay.
up, but that's the way how I feel like it.
All right. Well, listen. Everybody has to do what they feel is right for them, and if it is working for you, it's working for you.
I don't know. I haven't been in a relationship since my son's father. So
Oh, no wonder we thought it was recent. So 14 years now you haven't been in a relationship.
yeah.
I'm so sorry, dear. The situation is dire all around. All right. Well, you know what? Listen, all I can say is branch out, try different things, date different people, and vet. Ask questions and really get a sense for a person from the inside. Get a sense of a person from the inside. I know for me, I cannot feel safe with a man if he is not providing the roof over our head. I can't feel safe. You know what I mean? I personally, but each woman has to know what it is that she's okay with. So by all means, I thank you for calling in and thank you for opening up your heart to us. Nobody has to answer, these questions, but I appreciate it. And I suggest for you to really just, I don't know, you sound like you have some things that need to be worked out. Have you been to therapy?
No, Tanya, I just have not.
Yeah, so you
I
know what? I suggest you go to therapy because I'm hearing a lot of conflicting information. I'm hearing anger towards women. I'm hearing a lot of different things. You may not see it, but I'm hearing this. Like when you first called in, you're like, "Oh,
hmm
we gotta blame the mothers too." And I just and now the passport bros want to go over to find a foreign woman to support. The passport bros, they on some other stuff. They not looking for wives. They're looking to take advantage. This is from what it is that I have seen. But nonetheless, listen, my dear, I'm going to let you
hmm
jump off the phone. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. Get therapy, okay, Ma? You deserve it. All right?
Yes, Todd. Thank you so much. Nice
All
speaking
right.
to you.
Love you. Bye. You're in the ear live with Tanya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, Tanya. This is Rose. I'm calling from New York.
Hey, we got Rosie in the house. Hey, Rosie. Talk to me.
Hey, how are you? I just wanted to just add in a little bit from the last caller that I feel sometimes us as women, we really have to fight to get our therapy and work through childhood wounds and break certain cycles because I feel like my grandmother, passed a lot of the wounded cycles on to me that made me go out and accept certain treatment from men.
Yeah.
And also, I just wanted to play on the experience that I had when I was about 16 years old, and I had a boyfriend
Mm.
who was 3 years older than me. I'm Afro Latina. He was African American, and his mother and his father had this crazy struggle love of so many years where, he was cheating on her and she take him back. He was selling drugs. He went to jail. Years later when he came back, they're going back and forth. He was always a cheater. Anyway, I ended up finding out at the time that he had cheated on me. He even had gave me an STD. That was my first time. I didn't know anything. I thought I was very close to his mother at the time, but she actually knew about it and didn't say anything because she was, of course, on her son's side. Whatever he was letting go down in their house, she was accepting it. Years later, fast forward, he told me one day, he said, "Oh, my mom always liked you. You were always her favorite, but she told me that you just weren't tough enough for me." And for me, I was just like, what does she expect me to go through the same struggle love that she went through with his father? And she was just like
Mm.
condoning all his behavior. And I just feel like as women, we should do better. And I know a lot of mothers like that just coddle their sons.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
And
definitely problematic.
yes, it is. And also, I just feel like that. we also have a lot of wounds to heal from our grandparents because I was raised from my grandmother, so she kind of raised me the way that she was raised up in Panama,
Mm.
and it comes with a lot of wounds. Yeah,
Wow. That's deep. That's deep. You know what?
yeah,
I
yeah. You
appreciate
were
you
saying
sharing
some.
that.
Hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just know that in your last video you were saying something about skin color, and I wanted to mention that I had also felt that because my grandmother's a light skinned Hispanic. And my mother, she had two children. My mother is a dark skinned Hispanic. Her brother, they had different dads. He's a light skinned Hispanic. And I always felt like ostracized for my skin color. I'm not sure if they did it that way, but sometimes she would say comments like, you're such a pretty brown girl. And I just remember like when I was young, around 11 or 12, I would kind of like look at my skin color and just wonder, like, would I look better if I was lighter?
Mm.
Maybe I would have more love in my life. But
Mm.
then I eradicated that mind frame. And now that I'm raising my daughter, I teach her to love herself, love her skin color, love her hair, love her curls, and to love everything about herself. And I'm trying to raise my son the same way with respect for women. Um, and I just feel like that's all I can do. But I do notice a lot of the influence, as you said, is from peers because my children will come home from school and there's certain things I don't expose them to, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
asking me questions about those things. And I'm just like, wow, how can I, say things to capture them and make sure they're not following their friends? It's very
Mm.
hard.
Yeah, big brothers, big sisters, get them some mentors that can really assist in the journey because we are coming upon some crazy times. How old is your daughter?
My oldest daughter is 11. I have four children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is around that time, and you're going to need to talk to all of your children about sex, sexuality, gender, all of that stuff because they're talking to the kids in school and
Yes.
I'm in New York and they're talking to them. So now children are saying that they're animals and the adults have to acknowledge them as an animal. This is what's new on the agenda. This is not even a freaking joke. That there are kids who are like they're a cat or a chihuahua, and they have to be their identification has to be respected. This is where we are.
In my child's school, I guess the culture there is still a little bit more anti going that route. But
Oh,
I did notice, like on the summer school applications, they were putting like, how does your child identify, male, female, non-binary, and that shocked me because
yeah.
me growing up, it's just male or female, and I was like, non-binary, this is crazy. And you're
Yeah.
right, they are talking to the kids about sex. I mean, I do kind of appreciate that aspect. They're learning about their bodies, but my daughter does come home, asking me questions, and I am, answering to the best of my ability.
Yeah, you have
But
got to talk to this is for everybody out there. You've got to talk to your children about sex, gender, no matter their age. If they're over the age of 2 or 3 and they can understand, you're gonna have to be able to talk to them at their level of understanding because there's a lot of ideas that are being implanted. Like a friend of mine, her daughter is 10, and she said about 90% of the girls in her class are now saying that they're bisexual.
oh yes, that was another thing. And I feel like it's the phones. It is the phones absolutely because my daughter does not have a phone. And her friends have touch phones, they have Snapchat, they have TikTok,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
watching all those things without any parental supervision. I just
yeah.
watch the kids and I hear the curse words. Everything that we're watching as grown people, they are watching and they're emulating that in school in 6th grade, and it's very scary. She's telling me
Mm.
about how there's this one girl that she's always around certain boys, and now the girls are already fighting, trying to get the boys' attention, and it's just
Oh my God.
like it's too fast.
Yeah, it's going.
too
It,
fast.
and she's
But I
only
just make
11.
sure
This
that
is
she's
too
not on the
much.
phone, and I limit any time on the internet, and I'm always next to her. I know what she's watching.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to say this to you, right? So you need to, at 11 years old, you need to check her bags and check all of that stuff because other people are bringing phones that their big sister is done with or that whatever, and your child may have a phone and you may not know. You need to go through your child's stuff. You have got to, because they got email addresses you don't know about. They got accounts on these platforms that you don't know about, and they have friends who are giving them a phone once they get into the school that they may leave with the friend once they come back home. But your child most likely has a Snapchat and a TikTok account, and your child is most likely on the internet and you don't know it. You need to go through your children's stuff because
Yes,
you
I
think
agree with
you
that with
think
you.
because
I
you don't
do.
give them a
She
phone that they
tells me
don't
about
have
they're in the
one.
bathroom.
There's other what bathroom what wait hold what.
That's where they go. They go into because I have conversations with my daughter. I've been very open because I wanted to raise her differently than my grandmother. You know, everything was hush hush. And that's why certain things happen. Like my mom got molested by her stepdad, just a whole bunch of mess. So I do have conversations with her, and she does tell me how when they go into the bathroom, that's where they, they're talking on the phone, their little
Mm,
bathroom breaks, and that's where they're watching these things or talking to whoever.
mm-hmm.
And I just tell her that at the end of the day, she has to be proud of the decisions that she makes because it's not my life. It's only her life. And at the end of the day, when she goes to sleep at night and she thinks back on her decisions, are you proud of what you did? If you lied to me, that's one thing, but you can't lie to yourself. And you know that if your decisions that you're making are not wise, they're going to lead you down a path that you don't want to go to. Because I
Yeah,
do recognize that
so this is the thing.
I
So
had
this
my
is the
children.
thing.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry, you had your children young?
Yes, I had my children young, and I let myself. Um, I let myself. I found the environment, and I let myself stay in the environment that I grew up in. The same environment that I grew up in, where I was getting verbally abused, getting hit. I stayed there, and
Yeah.
I ended up having 4 children because that man also wanted me barefoot and pregnant, literally, and it was
Mm,
almost a thing. He didn't want to use any protection. And it was just like an all-out war on me. And then I finally found the strength to be able to leave him when my youngest daughter was 1. I was kind of waiting it out because I really didn't want to in daycare where I wouldn't be able to pick up on social cues if something was wrong with her.
yeah.
And I just packed up my stuff and I left because I couldn't do it anymore. It was too
Yeah.
toxic. I didn't want my children around there. But I know, and I do have resentment, and I get angry with myself. But that's why I try to be open with my daughter so that she recognizes those patterns in herself.
Yeah. So
Love
I
yourself.
wanted
And
to
I let
yeah, I
her
wanted.
listen to you in certain things. She actually loves you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Tell her that. What's her name? I'll give her a shout out.
Her name is Njeri.
Hey, Anjiri, how are you?
But
Yeah,
she's in school right now, but I'll
listen
show
to
her
your
that
mother.
when she
Listen
gets
to your
out.
mother and understand that your mother understands life in a way that you don't understand yet, and that you have to follow her lead in her direction. Listen, Rosie,
Thank you.
one thing that you have to understand is that your child's mind is not developed enough to be able to understand consequences. And so, yeah, you can
Yes.
tell her, oh, yeah, this is your life, but she's still going to make decisions based on impulse and her child's brain. So you're really going to have
Yes.
to listen. Listen, parents out there, you're going to need to take a pop up to your child's school every once in a while just to let them know, and you need to, when you do the pop-up in your child's school, you need to check and see what your child has on their person, because I'm telling you, their friends are bringing iPhones for them, their friends. So people in the comments are talking about, oh, you could put parental controls on the phone. Let me tell you, they know how to get around all of that. They're very innovative. Please do not think that
Yes.
in 2023
Mhm.
that if you don't give your child a phone that they do not have a phone, because the culture, let me tell you what the culture is. The culture is online. This is where they learn the dances. This is
Mhm.
where they learn what's going on in the
Yep.
world. And if your child is not in the know, everybody else is talking and communicating about something that they don't know about. So when these other little children they're like, oh, you don't have a phone? My sister has an extra phone. They're getting these, and then with these Obama phones and all this other stuff, they already got the SIM. They got all of this stuff
Yes.
already, and they're handing it to your child in school, and your child is making TikTok videos that you don't effing know about. You could think that your little
Yes.
girl with her pretty little bows and all of that and her little uniform, that she's not doing that, but I'm telling you, your child, listen to what it is that I'm saying. Your child is on TikTok right now. Their image is out there on TikTok. Your child's face, your child dancing is on TikTok. If you have a 12-year-old, your child is on TikTok. I'm just telling you that right now. Whether you gave them a phone or not, they're on there because they're friends. They don't understand why you don't want them to be cool and in the in crowd with their friends. They think that you're being ridiculous
Mhm.
and overprotective, and they are on the internet, whether you know it or not. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to preach to the choir because some people know and some people don't. You need to do pop-ups at your child's school and just let them know that at any given time you could show up at that school, and you need to check their bag when they're in the school. You need to be like, however you do it, you can get in touch with the school. Don't let your child know you're coming up. And when you get up there, say, come here. And then you go through their bag.
Mhm.
That's what you need to do. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you
Mm-hmm.
because I had given her a phone last summer and I put the parental controls. But as you said, they know everything. Things that I'm like, how did you do this? And then that's when I was like, no, I have to take this away. And I'm aware,
Mm-hmm.
of what they do in school, and she tells me, and I know, and all I can do is have conversations with her and conversations with the staff. But I totally am in agreement
Mm-hmm.
with you. They definitely do, and they
They're
go in
gonna find a way.
incognito, and that's how they
Mm-hmm.
reach all the content. They know all about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I appreciate you calling in, and
Thank
I'll
you so
talk
much,
with you in
Tanya,
another.
for
Yeah.
your
Thank
time
you. Thank
and
you.
valuable
Thank you.
information. I hope you have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
All right. So this is an enlightening conversation. I appreciate everybody who participated in the conversation. All I'm going to say is look after your children, stay on top of them. You have got to, because there's a lot going on, and then there are these pedos who are on Roblox, and they have a way to write to children, and they're saying all different types of things online. You really have to stay on top of it. And anybody out there who thinks that their 12-year-old doesn't have a phone in 2023 or access to a phone, you're being naive. And I want you to hear and remember these words that I'm saying to you right now, and you need to get on top of it. So yes, so it starts out as the dancing. Somebody mentioned it. They're doing fight videos now. This is what these, like, children are like little animals. And now somebody is saying, Tanya is right. I work in schools, mostly elementary. They all work on computers and tablets now, and they know every way to get around the parental controls. They absolutely do. Absolutely do. So that's all I'm going to say to you all on that. So listen, I appreciate all of you coming out and being a part of today's broadcast. We started out talking about the passport bros, and it evolved into so much more. So on that, oh, you know what? Let me check the apples before we get out of here. I want to see what the self-love lesson is that you all learned from today's video. Let me just check these real quick. And while we're doing this, I want you all to start getting ready to type out your self-love lesson, because that's what's going to come next. So Teresa sends $5 for support. Josette sends $5 and says he was happy his father was there. I mean, for protection, not as a father figure. I can see that. I can see that. But that still talks about how we're able to fraction people's behavior. So that's what I was mentioning. Khadija sends $5 and says, LMAO Tanya, you've been eating these ends up with facts. Heart. Okay. I'm not really sure which comment we are specifically talking about there. Let's see. I would have got my BBL and he would have got that son. Oh, wow. You're talking about, wait. You talk about the woman who called in. Kenya sends $30, and then Kenya says, "Can I call?" Yes, Kenya, you can. What is Kenya? If you're listening very quickly, what is the last four digits of? Should you put the four? Let's see. What about the last two digits of your number? And I'll try calling you back. Chantel sends a $5 and says, "For being organically you, rain on the plant, prayer hands, my first cash app to you." All right, so we got two first-time cash apps. All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so let us do the self-love lessons, and then I'm going to look for Kenya's last two digits, and then I'm going to call her back. She'll be the last phone call. So let me hear what your self-love lesson is from today's video. I want to see. SLL, type out SLL, and let me see what your self-love lesson is. What is the perspective that you gained for yourself from today's video? I got to think of my self-love lesson from today's video because we talked about a lot. The kids in juvie are smart as heck. They also know how to get around the security efforts we have made. They be all on Facebook. Thrilled we are waking up. 50-50 is never really 50-50. It is the modern male's trap talking point. Yeah, well, listen, SOL, never be afraid to put yourself first. Can't expect anything out of these men if you don't know your value. Gonna keep going 50-50. SOL, keep your standards high. Listen, I would rather be with myself and then pull up on your kids, although I don't have any. What are you talking about then? You Who are you going to pull up on? I'm telling you, listen, go take a surprise trip to your child's school. Don't let them know you're coming. Just go. Somebody said they'd rather not be paranoid or whatever. This is your child. 50-50 is a trap. I hear you. SLL, self-love lesson. Boundaries is essential to gain happiness. Okay. I'm on the right track, stand my ground as a mother and stand my ground on self-love. Yes, I will stay in my kids' mix and anyone who's around me so they know I'm watching and I'm cray. I hear you. I do most of the child rearing, so it's easier for him to think school is better. Okay. Somebody says woke is a cancer in society. I don't really know what that means, but choosing you reverses your age. Listen, I hear you. I hear you. Let me check. Okay, so Kenya says 10. All right. So let me look down the call list and see who we have here. All right. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hi, Kenya?
Yes, do I have an echo? I wasn't expecting you to call me.
You weren't
I thought I was
expecting me
going
to
to have to
call
call
you.
in.
Oh, no. God, talk to me. Talk
Okay.
to us. So you wanted to say something today. So talk to
Yes,
me.
you told me to call you because I was the one that said something about the African skit.
Oh, okay. So what's up?
I didn't know that was a skit, but however, I have grown up in a household like that
Mm,
in the 60s,
yeah.
and I've had family members that grew up in households like that and this was not before the civil rights movement, but before women can get credit cards and buy their own homes and stuff like that. And in America, those men did treat us like that as black women. And just because they were saying in Africa, I just identified with that because I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you brought this up into the conversation to add what to the combo? So
The
tell me.
passport bros,
Mm.
because that's the women that they want. They want to go back into that lifestyle. It's not because they were going to work and taking care of us, and we didn't have to work, and we was all house mothers living like the Cleavers,
Mm-hmm.
Lever to Beaver, and the Brady Bunch. Black women in America and across the world never lived like that. We
Mm-mm.
always had to work, and not, some of us did have good fathers that took care of us. I had a cousin. She had ballet lessons,
Yeah.
piano lessons. She got the first hair weave. She was the neighborhood queen. But
Mm-hmm.
most of us had parents and women in our family that suffered.
Yeah. 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 We definitely need to talk about that because that is the other side of it. You know what? I put up a video on my other page. Go to www.youtube.com/ at Tonya TKO clips, right? And so on my other page, I actually put up a clip yesterday about how men are fantasizing about the quote unquote good old days. And I even made a comparison to times of slavery in this country and how white people are trying to get back to the good old days, but it wasn't good for everybody. And you're right. Part of the reason that women had to get, on had to become feminist and womanist is because men took advantage of the lack of mobility for women. So absolutely, I agree with you on that all day, every day. I put up several videos like that grandmother who was talking about if she
Yeah,
could have changed
yeah,
anything in her life, she would have not gotten married.
yeah,
No, seriously,
yeah.
seriously.
I
And
know, I know.
women are waking up and they are talking about their experiences, and these men who are trying to go backwards. So you know what, somebody sent me a screenshot from Margaret Atwood's book, The Handmaid's Tale. And way back in the days, in her book, because her book is real fiction. I believe I forget what it's called, but it's a type of fiction. Every single thing inside of her book is based on something that has happened in real life in some part of the world, right? And so
Yeah.
in the book, they talk before it got into The Handmaid's Tale, the way they were doing the women. They were talking about Western women were to this and Western women were to that. And they were using the same phrase and verbiage that they're using now. That they had an issue with
And
these
how old
Western.
is this book?
The handmaid. How old is The Handmaid's Tale? It's old. It's big. I mean, the series has been on itself for like the past 8 years. So yeah, so the book itself is old, but yeah, in the book she is talking about these terms. Let me see how old the book is. When was Handmaid's Tale written? It was written, let's see what it says here. 19, it says Handmaid's Tale, acclaimed dystopian novel by Canadian author Margaret Atwood, published in 1985.
Okay.
So,
That's when we started coming up around
mm,
19 in the 80s as black women, getting out of those subjugated jobs, and white women too. It's a patriarchal problem
mm-hmm,
that and we do suffer patriarchal problems along with racism, but that it's the black manosphere and the white manosphere is kind of saying the same thing, but the black manosphere is taking on some aspects of the white manosphere, like alimony. Y'all don't pay alimony. What are you talking about?
yeah,
Stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think the passport bros, instead of saying, okay, we need to do better in this country so we can get the women that we want, so we can build
yeah,
our
yeah,
communities, so so we can be the alpha males that they say they are.
Yeah.
They run to another man's community, and when that man get tired of them and take all their money,
Yeah.
they're gonna kick them out.
Yeah, and you know what? And
They,
we need to be very wary of the passport bros, the manosphere, red pill, black pill. We need to be very wary of black men who are speaking these talking points from these white male spaces, because these
mm-hmm.
white men are very like, I had an associate who would lurk inside these groups, and these white males are very violent. They are very indecent. They are very misogynistic. They are dangerous. And this is why the FBI watches these groups, because they are quiet as kept. They are a hate group, and things are getting much and much worse. Go look for everybody here. You need to go look at my clips on my clips channel, because I have bite-sized videos over there of lessons that are anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes long, right? And you need to watch these videos because there's different scholars that are talking. One of those scholars is Scott Galloway, who talks about the most dangerous man in society is a broke, lonely male, and they destabilize societies. And one of the things that we need to be careful of is black men who are talking these talking points, because as we have heard, men are very impressionable. And as you
I
see,
think.
well,
I'm
let me
sorry.
just finish this point.
Go
Let me
ahead.
just finish this point.
Mm-hmm.
As we see now, black men are now entering into the mass shooter craze from their white male counterparts. These dudes are out of their mind. So it's like, we need to watch these black men, because deep down inside, they want to emulate the behaviors of white males. And these white males in these groups are very dangerous. And the types of violence that they're talking about enacting against women is enough to make you go get your concealed carry. So any woman out there who
Right.
has not, please consider what it'll look like to just even at least go get the application and read the application and see different ways that you can protect yourself out here. Because as women withhold sex more and more, like, let me just finish this one last thing and I'll let you talk. Remember Spike Lee had that movie, Chirac, where the women stopped having intercourse and then the men started acting right. Oh, no, 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 no. We already know male nature is much different than that. It's not like women and pussy is not getting, no. Men are that testosterone inside of them, coupled with the denial of intercourse. We're going to see a lot more dangerous things starting to pop up, especially as these entitled ass motherfuckers, especially as they feel that they're entitled to a woman's body and women are withholding their bodies from them. So you need to, because women are waking up and women are going our own way. And these stupid men, they got their Sib Sim and these MJow and all this MGTOW. Sorry, I didn't mean to call them stupid. Sorry. I didn't mean to call anyone name, my bad. But they got these movements, MGTOW and SibSim and all of this, and it's like, you're talking about save yourself, but the women have already left the farm. The women are gone. Women are gone. And as these men get separated further and further from intercourse and release, and they're watching porn that's skewing their minds and all this and the other, they're going out here on a damn rampage. And what I'm saying is the absolute 100% truth. And if you don't believe it, Google anything that I'm saying, because I don't do like these men with microphones that just talk some silly stats and they don't know that's not backed up by anything. You can Google everything that I've said. It's out there. So go ahead, Kenya. I knew I went off on a little bit of a
No,
monologue, but I wanted to get all of that out
fine.
without
That's
forgetting.
fine.
But please go ahead.
I completely agree with everything you said, and I want to just bump it back a little bit. Black men had our support.
They did.
They had our support with our Section 8, if you had it. If you was that working woman with the college degree, now they telling you your college degree, though. They turned us against them within the last 2 years. Since 2020, I'm going to say, Kevin, can you help turn black women off? Because we would go get you from jail. We would go get you from off the street, and we was a builder barbers. We build you up, we put you in the home, and then you tell us we ain't shit. We did all that. We marched, we stomped the yard, we did all that for our men more than any other woman has ever had to do for their man. And so when the black woman wakes up and after she finished crying, because I swear, Tonya, when I found this out, that broke my heart.
Found what
and
out?
It's going to break a lot of women's hearts.
When you found what out?
How they treat us. What they say about us. And it's not just online. It's not just online. I asked my brother, why do you all, I had two brothers. The only thing they dated was white women. Why do you, because I can't handle a black woman. She won't let me want to do what I want to do. Oh, she wants too much out of me. Da, 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 da. They don't want us because we want to be human. Just like that guy said, oh, I could show the Filipino my house, my credit score, my this. Why can't you do that for a sister?
You know why? You don't got the complexion for the connection. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
It's
Yeah.
just silence. Yeah.
And
you don't
that's
have the
heartbreaking
complexion for
because
the connection.
I'm a Gen Xer. And I come from the love song eras. I heard the Temptations and the Spinners and all back in all that back in the day. All those love songs that kept us together. And the black women that came out in the 90s that was still trying to push against the rap music and how it just everything just fell apart. And I witnessed all of this. I was born in 68. And coming on the internet, I was wondering why ain't black men looking at us no more? Why ain't smiling? Why they ain't, and this is before I came on the internet, why ain't saying hi? Why are they not helping? I got mad one day and helped a woman push her car out the road. And it was two guys, black men, standing on the side of the road at the car dealership. And I yelled at them, what the hell are you doing? Why are you standing on the road and helping this woman? I did not know this was going on.
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, Kenya. Them not looking at us is actually a blessing in disguise because
I know what that is now.
Okay, because you know, there's a difference between being a succubus and dating a certain group of people because you just want to get your rocks off, but you have no intention of giving them commitment and love and care and all that other stuff. So
yeah, I know what you're saying, Tanya. I know
they're
that
no
is now.
longer feasting on us like a bacteria. You know, in the summer times, I ferment my own drink, and you take the yeast and you sprinkle it onto the sugary drink, and yeast is a bacteria, and it'll latch on to the sugar, it'll feast on it, and then excrete out alcohol or probiotics or whatnot. But no, it'll excrete out alcohol. Let me just keep it real. It'll excrete alcohol, right? But yeah, so these men are like a bacteria feeding on women and then excreting out some stuff. So it's a blessing that they are looking elsewhere. It's a blessing. So yeah, so
I didn't know it at the time.
Let me show this. Let me show this on the screen real quick. Yeah. Let me see. All right. So this is my other page right here. This is the hold on. Let me put the whole thing up. All right. So this is my clips page. And as you see, modern men keep wishing for the good old days. Men reserve their love exclusively for other men. Give up your life for your man. This is how men in religious indoctrination, or religions indoctrinate women out of divine feminine. Broke, lonely men, the most violent. Vegan marries meat eater when different ideals goes wrong. So that's the Annette Larkin story. This right here was so heartbreaking because she gave her update. For those of you who haven't seen, so these videos have gotten a lot of views on the other page, but still everybody on this page has not gone over there. So go over to, Oh, have you? So go over to my clips page and make sure that you watch, because men are homosocial. Like, you need to just go through a quick crash course. These videos are 5 minutes long, 2 minutes long, 10 minutes long, and you can get them in bite sizes. You can share them to other people. It's important that you share, because when other people get the videos, then they're then able to start getting my videos in their algorithm. So yes, so take a look at these videos, because they have lessons in there that we need to pay attention to. I've decided to take a shift and really start focusing in on lessons. So yes, so my dear Kenya, I'm going to jump off of here because I didn't realize I was going to
Okay.
be on so long. I didn't put my potatoes in the oven to bake. And so now it's lunchtime and I don't have my baked potatoes. So
Well,
now I got
don't
to go
burn them
bake
because you
them.
burned your potatoes like 2 weeks ago. Don't burn
You
them.
know, they didn't burn. It was just the
Did they
outside
taste good?
skin. It was really good. I didn't burn them. So I'm going to put them on the same setting for this week. So yeah, it
Okay.
actually turned out really good. It could have stayed in for maybe 5 minutes less, because after a few days in the refrigerator, they got a little dried out, because I like to bake a whole bunch of
Mm-hmm.
potatoes in the beginning of the week and then just eat them with my meals as the week goes on. But by the end of the week, the potatoes were kind of dried out, but that was fine because I just put them back in the oven with some water and some seasonings and stuff, some cheese. And then I baked them and had some
Okay.
nice cheesy potatoes. So yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
All
Well, I'm gonna let you go, and I just want to say you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I got some. I feel like I got a bag under my eye right now because I didn't really sleep very well last night. I'm still so tired because you all had me
Yeah, I
up.
was. I
Hmm.
heard. I was following. I'm up all night, so I listen to YouTube from 8, 9 o'clock till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So I followed you all night, so I know you was up.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. All right.
And
So
I
how come
appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
you're not a part of the text notification squad?
Because I don't need it, because I'm always there.
Yeah, but you can be a part of the group behind the scenes where we communicate between broadcasts. So you should join. You seem like a great conversationalist.
Okay, I'll join.
All right.
No, I'm
Listen.
serious. I'll join because I need a community. It's hard to talk to a lot of Black women about certain subjects that don't know, and they get angry with you,
Yeah.
and you're just trying to help them, So I do need people to talk to, because I just stay shut up in my house now. Since 2020, I don't even go nowhere, work and home. So I do need a
Oh,
community.
so join. Come on through. We'd be happy to have you. Text notification squad, throw up your 1010s. Yeah, we'd be happy to have you, Kenya. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, hon.
All right, good night. All right, so let us see. What is the self-love lesson that I learned from today's video? I learned, I'll say my self-love lesson from today's video is the self-love lesson I learned is to each one teach one. You never really, so whole space. You know what I would say here? This is exactly what I learned from today's video. That sometimes when people are expressing a certain point of view, this is coming from a place of hurt and disconnect on the inside. Like we had that one caller who was calling in talking about women and teaching their sons this, that, and the other. And then when all was said and done, it turns out that she was in a tumultuous 50, she had been in a tumultuous 50-50 relationship in which she was working and all of this stuff. So this, the self-love lesson I've learned from today's video is about maintaining an air of compassion for the person I'm speaking to and ask questions, because it's in those questions that more is revealed. Like when you look and you see the different parts of the rainbow, when you look and when we dove into her story, we saw that there was a lot of pain, there was a lot of betrayal, there's trauma that exists there. And so her point of view being shaped and shifted, and so so she's lashing out about one thing, but there's really a whole bunch of different types of pain underneath. So yes, on that note, let me check the apples one last time. And so let's get these up on the screen, and then we're going to jump out of here. So Ultimate Enigma says, Black women, let's demand more Struggle ain't cute. Absolutely not. And we do need to demand more. That is a word right there. I think before I bake my potatoes, I'm gonna lay down. Cece sends 111 and says, "Thank you for all you do, OG fan, first time Cash App." Well, you know that means that we got 3 first time Cash Apps in this video. So you know that means I'm gonna bust a little wine for you all. So let me get my music. Let me get my music up here. Here. Hey. You don't know. Hey. I can't move. Let me try. Hold on. Hey. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Hey, thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Ay. Let me see. Oh, wait, there's some more apples that I didn't check. All right. Thank you so much, CC. Lenita sends 420. It says, first apple. Bust a whole wine, please. Listen. Let's see if we got another wine in there. Let's see if we got another. If we got some more winery. Hey, you can't see the movement. I gotta go wide. Oh my God, that was too funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. How funny. Paulina sent in $5. Thank you, Paulina. All right, so listen, I love you all very, very much. Go out there. Let me do my closing. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? Love yourself. And do not take the Passport Bros movement personally. This really has nothing to do with us. This only just spreads the truth of what the situation has been here for a while. It only spreads the truth worldwide. So on that, Tiana, so on that note, I will see you all in the next video. I will see. This was too much.